The Everything Sequel podcast is brought to you by the Vegas Beer Guys and the Everything Sequel podcast.
Everything sequel contains explicit language. And why the fudge not, you melon farmer?
Hello and welcome to the Everything Sequel podcast. This is a Vacancy edition. Today we're talking Vacancy 2, the first cut. I like to do that first cut. The first cut. My name is Michael Shantz of the How Dare You Awards. Joining me, the man who wants me off his property right now, Tom Stewart of Lonesome Whistle Productions. Say hi, Tom.
Make sure you get it on camera. A line of dialogue from this movie that could have just as easily been an instruction from the director.
Right.
I mean, this is, this one of the things that's going for this movie is it has a self-reflexive quality about it.
Okay.
It's about making horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
It's a horror movie about making horror movies.
Yes, I understood the first time.
Interesting. You're the first cut.
Mm-hmm.
We recently did a completely legitimate award ceremony for our podcast. It's the first annual Montgomery Burns Award for outstanding achievement in the field of excellence. And one of the categories was best and final.
Yeah.
By the way, you will owe us $1 for that peek behind the paywall. But also, is there a best and first? The first whatever as a subtitle. Is that's used quite a lot in sequels, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
I'm not willing to give it to the first cut quite yet.
No. It's definitely not the best of those, whatever the others are. Even if we don't know what they are, it's definitely not the best. But that's something that we didn't mention in the ranking episode that I think is important to remember about this movie.
Go ahead.
Is that it's a prequel sequel or a pre-sequel?
Yes.
And that one of the drawbacks of the movie is that it falls victim to the pitfalls of that format, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
That's a problem too, is that it decided its sequel should be a prequel as well.
I think,
and that's never a good move. I
think it's also one of its biggest problems, but I'm gonna wait for a second to talk about it because
that's a big statement.
I want to talk about.
That's a big statement at this stage.
The thing I want to talk about happens at the very beginning. So
okay.
First, why don't we say we have already said we're talking Vacancy 2, the first cut. I think I have this right, Tom.
Oh no.
As second on your list, it may not surprise you, but it surprises me that this is the top of the bottom half of the 2009 sequels with 21% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's amazing that both things can be true. That this achieved 21% and it's the top rated of the 5 movies we're about to look at. That's astonishing. Well, clearly Messages 2 is a misunderstood classic. I can't imagine a world in which it gets less, when that movie gets less than 21% and this movie gets 21%.
Yeah, it seems odd, doesn't it?
It does. Do even the people review this the reviewer's score, right?
Yeah.
Do you think people who review video sequels really watch them?
I should hope so.
What, because we were forced to? That we should make others suffer in the same manner?
I think people should be that professional in life.
I agree, but, when it gets to Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves, is anyone giving their full attention?
Honey, I Shrunk My Foot. Just the foot. He keeps falling down.
I've watched that movie at least 3 times because of my son.
Jesus.
Do you know who the director of that movie is? This will shock you.
No,
And it's the only movie he's directed.
but we're grossly off topic. Go ahead.
Dean Cundy.
Cundy?
Yeah, cinematographer of Halloween and most of John Carpenter's movies.
Wow.
His only directorial effort is only We Shrunk Ourselves.
You know, for a half a second, I thought you'd made up the title to a last sequel in that series that didn't exist.
It does sound like one of our sequel pitches, but no, it is. That is exactly what it is, and it was a video sequel as well.
Yeah.
And it was
all right. Well,
pioneering use of video effects, because it launched Disney. Disney made for video sequels.
That's great.
I know a lot about that movie, less about this one. So I'm relying on.
Of course, you put it second highest on your list. You know nothing.
Well, so fill me in on the details.
Well, it's hard to do that.
You mean you don't have as much information as I just gave about Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves?
It's going to be a repeating refrain for all of these bottom half of the 2009 sequels. Boy, is there a more apt description? Bottom half of the 2009 single sequels. But
I was gonna say that's pejorative, but it really isn't.
No,
It's factual as well.
Factual. It's I'll have partial information on all of these movies.
Mm-hmm.
The partial information I have on this movie: budget $3 million.
Okay.
No other information.
That's not.
At least on Money Corner.
That doesn't
I
feel
can show
grossly
you
excessive.
Some of the money.
That feels about right. This looks like it cost about that amount of money. It's not a cheap looking movie. I don't think it's. Is it?
Yes and no, but yeah, I agree with you.
But you know, when you make a movie,
all of these movies except Trinians have a basic cheapness about them.
You can just have a basic. Let's just turn basic into a noun. It's perfect.
All right, but let's get to this, because I mentioned this. Maybe I mentioned this behind the paywall. I don't know. It's directed by Eric Bross.
Of Bros, the Luke Goss twin band. No,
You lost me.
Come on, Luke Goss was in Blade 2.
No.
I've really lost you.
Yeah.
I was trying to bring it closer to something you know, and I've made it less.
I don't care to search my memory.
Yeah. It was a boy band from the 80s called Bros, and they were twins. They were the Goss twins. I can't remember what the other one was called.
Talking.
One of them was Luke Goss.
Keep talking.
And
about
Luke
this
Goss
boy
somehow
band.
ended up as a vampire in Blade 2.
Yeah, all right. So let's see if you've heard of any of these movies.
Oh.
Mr. Bross has directed 10 Benny.
10 Benny.
It's like 10 breakfasts.
I was gonna say it sounds like a breakfast order.
Yeah.
10 Benny, hold the hash browns.
Exactly. I need 10 Benny.
And can we do a fruit cup with that?
He directed a movie just called Restaurant.
Is it like an Andy Warhol experimental movie where they just have a camera in a restaurant for 8 hours?
Here's 2 movies for you. One, Stranger Than Fiction. It's not that Stranger Than Fiction.
All right.
Second, Affairs of State, which you might think stars Ben Affleck and Russell Crowe, but that was State of Play.
Also, isn't there like a Jack Lemmon, James Garner movie with a similar title? Or is that My Fellow Americans?
I don't know.
I'm thinking of My Fellow Americans.
Oh, yeah, My Fellow Americans. All right, finally, have you heard of On the Line?
Wait, the Stallone arm wrestling movie?
No, that's Over the Top.
Oh, okay.
Which you should know the title of
I know.
like at the forefront of your memory.
Yeah.
Because it's a perfect
But
movie.
they cover it in. They've covered that on How Did They Get Made, right?
Yeah.
Because it's in the needlessly long rap song at the beginning. 88 minutes and a cool as ice. Something on the line.
I think I told you either. I don't think it was. I think it was behind the paywall. But I told you that we had a director related to boy band.
That's not Bros? Wow. I'm interested now.
And it's On the Line.
Okay.
That is a boy band related movie.
Which boy band?
Well, you lost me.
Oh, you didn't even look that up?
Well, it's one of the two, and I'll forget. I'll get it wrong.
Okay, well, just name the two.
Lance Bass, Joey Fatone.
Is that NSYNC or Backstreet Boys?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's
one or the other.
I'm pretty sure it's Backstreet Boys. Because nobody talks about NSYNC without Timberlake. Whereas, yeah, it's got to be Backstreet Boys. Heather, this is directed at you. If only she could correct us in real time.
Right? Did you get
Amazing.
her thing about Vendy? That was so much good information.
Listen, if we had money to throw around, she would be she wouldn't even need to interview for us as researcher.
I see. I
She's
knew
got
I was
to go.
going to say you were wrong. And I was right, but I was afraid of being wrong. It's in sync.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, do you remember this movie that came out? I think the movie came out right before he came out, and it was all about him trying to get a girl.
Oh.
It doesn't matter. Bros directed that movie.
That's not On the Line?
It is On the Line.
That's On the Line. One of the... You sound like Christopher Moltisanti in The Sopranos. He was gay, Joey Fatone? Have you just outed one of NSYNC? Or is that common knowledge?
That's common knowledge.
Okay. Well, you know more about it than I do, apparently, which is fucking freaking me out, but nonetheless. Credit where credit is due.
Man, that guy's been in more movies than I would have thought.
Okay.
On the Line, 2001.
Wow.
Yeah, a shy advertising employee meets his dream girl on the L train, but doesn't remember to get her phone number, resulting in an all-out search for the mystery girl.
Yeah, that sounds like classic gay alibi behavior. Oh, there was this hot girl on the subway. I forgot to get her number though, so
Yeah,
I'm just
from
gonna
Canada.
suck this guy's dick instead.
I have a perfectly serviceable penis here.
I got a PSP.
Mr. Bros.
I got a PSP waiting for me at home.
Now, here's my important note that I was talking about earlier. Well, first of all, I wrote TV show stage 6 credit.
Yes. Okay, we're gonna start there. Yeah, fake. Well, my first note is fake VHS static distortion logo for stage 6. So again, I think this is a good sort of, this manages your expectation for the videographic quality of the movie and the fact that a lot of the movie takes place via the medium of camcorder, and but also just the name Stage 6 for a production company. It sounds like the worst cancer that exists, right? Because I think cancer only goes up to stage 5. Or even maybe... Right. Yeah. So what the fuck is stage 6? Stage 6 is rigor mortis. So why would you name a production company after that?
I don't know. It's an auspicious start to begin with. Let me ask you this, though.
It's announcing the film's style as well, I think.
Well, that's one of the questions I have, actually, because you get this kind of prologue.
Oh, yeah. Always a good
nonsense
sign.
Talking about whatever happens at the end of Vacancy. I guess they get caught. And it says 200 tapes were found.
Come on,
blah, 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 blah.
You know by now that this prologue has nothing to do with what happened in Vacancy. It can't. It must. I guarantee you that this is all new. This is all new information, even if you've seen Vacancy.
I don't think so.
Really?
It sound like, yeah. But my question to you was, if they found 200 tapes, shouldn't all of this just be a found footage movie? Shouldn't it look like that?
Yeah, and we're in the found footage.
So to me, they're like fucking it up. They're fucking up their USP right from the beginning.
Well, I'm in two minds about that, because that is conceptually it makes more sense. It also sounds fucking horrible and far worse than the movie we're about to see.
It does sound like a worse movie. I admit completely. It does sound
so
worse.
You know,
I'm not saying I'm not happy they made that judgment, but
yeah, and of course
but like, just get rid of that fucking shit.
Yeah.
You know how I know that this is a Vacancy movie? It says Vacancy 2, the first cut. So the first cut tells me it happens before. I don't need this prologue.
Is the footage we see from the first movie?
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, also, I mean, I don't know, when does the found footage horror movie begin? Blair Witch Project, I suppose?
I think so.
Which is what? Already nearly 10 years
or 9.
10 years before.
Yeah.
So the title, but also the subtitle, but also the text prologue, we're reframing the sequel as a prequel, which I think horror films do this more than most other genres. Like, immediately go back to a prequel.
Mm-hmm.
Because they tend to kill off most of the characters at the end of the movie. So, it kind of...
I did do enough research to say, because it's funny, because I think in the first movie it's Frank Whaley again.
Oh no.
Who we'll see in a couple movies from now. But the only thing it's the same killer. Whoever's playing the killer is the killer from the first movie.
Well, I'm amazed at that, and
yeah,
that
I was too.
That vindicates my decision to put the second on the list. That fact alone.
No,
because I can see. So here's the thing about the pre-sequel. I can see the advantage, because you immediately solve any timeline problems you might have in going chronologically forward.
Mm-hmm.
But you create a whole host of timeline problems that were not otherwise there.
Right.
And I think ultimately that's what this film falls down on. Because it's kind of it's the origin story of this one killer who started off as a team of killer/pornographers.
Yeah, I got problems with that too.
Okay.
But
do you have problems with these film student video essay compilation titles?
Yes,
because I certainly did. Well, that's the other thing. It's like when they did these titles, did they think this movie was going to be entirely found footage? Because that's what it looks. Yeah,
exactly.
That it looks like, you know, a film student came in and compiled the footage. Is what that title sequence is trying to tell us. And then we're straight in with the disorientating camera work, which is kind of I think what they're trying to do is the movie's sees this as a kind of breakwater between found footage and normal cinema. That if we put in a lot of kind of shaky revolving camera work in between when we transition out of found footage and into fictional world,
Yeah.
it'll be a more organic transition. The problem with that is that the camera never settles down. Like if you're gonna if that's what you're gonna do, and I think that's partly what they're going for, then at some point, you've got to tie down that camera so that you see the distinction between the two. As it is, you get a film that has found footage in it, but the actual camera work that's not found footage is done in a found footage camcorder style. So the distinction between them is kind of moot.
Agreed. Now, right away, I started to feel uncomfortable with this movie.
Okay.
Because we have two things. We have a newlywed couple.
Yeah.
And an old farmer.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the newlywed couple is stopping off because she can't wait to have sex.
Yes.
And then it felt like the trope of, like, old, angry black man.
Really? I didn't...
And then when they go to pay for their room, it felt like the movie was telling me, you know how Asians are. They're super rich and dismissive of of all people around them.
Oh, really? Okay. I didn't pick up on any of that. I actually thought it was more interesting that a character who would normally be cast as a kind of white hillbilly was played by an African-American actor.
Okay. Again, it was hard for me to suss this out because I was like, am I reading too much into this? Or
Possibly.
Is this, or is the movie showing me this? Because this guy is unnecessarily angry.
But is he? He's a landowner. Landowners are always, like, in movies, wielding shotguns and saying, "Get off my land."
Yeah, but they're on the side of a road that might lead to his house, but they're like on a county road.
Well, I think that's
cocks his shotgun, and that seems like a gross overreaction.
But that's the movie in a nutshell. In another sense, in another nutshell. That's a movie in another nutshell.
There's a nutshell within a nutshell.
There's a nutshell within a nutshell, and it's like, again, I think this script is too thorough. Because it's like, we're going to see this guy later, so we have to see this guy now.
True, yeah.
But that leads to a different kind of ineptitude, where, as you're saying, you can't threaten people on a roadside. The road is not part of your land, and it's like...
Right.
Well, I don't know. Maybe he thinks it is. Doesn't matter. We got to have him in there because people won't know who he is when he turns up later in the movie.
Okay,
I think that's the inclination here, not to make him seem like an angry black man, but representationally, I can't argue with it because that is itself such a deep trope. But right. I think when you see what he's there for in the structure of the movie, it doesn't really have anything to do with race. I think it's just like I think it's like hillbillies, but we've made them black to do something different.
Okay, all right.
That's what I thought.
His distrust of white people seems to do him in the end, though.
Yeah, but his wife doesn't have that.
True. But it's him that calls the bad guys in.
But he trusts those white guys.
True.
He trusts the wrong white guys.
Right.
Not saying there's any allegorical significance to that. I did say, I was like, after that, we'll get there, but after that scene, I was like, yep, always listen to black women. We listen to black women, we would not be in trouble.
Just listen.
Yeah.
But not even her own husband would listen to her. I think that's what bothered me about the character was that
okay.
She deserved better.
She deserved better. I think, like any post-Obama presidency movie, they are as thoughtless about race as they are thoughtful.
Okay. Now here's my next thing. I mean, we may as well just get into it.
You can say problem.
Well, first of all, let me ask you this. What do you think of... Because this first couple,
Mm-hmm.
I thought were going to be our story.
Yes.
And
Well,
then they're not. And they escape.
mm-hmm.
And I couldn't figure out if I felt like, well, that was a waste of 10 to 15 minutes. Or are we just setting up everything that we need to know in terms of we need to know these guys are creepers and peeping toms and they have videos and like they're laying all that groundwork.
I assume so. And that, that sense of the watcher and the watched.
Uh-huh.
Which, I think is about announcing your ability to handle horror as well.
But it was strange because, like, for an hour and, I think, 26-minute movie, I was like, we just wasted 10 minutes. This could have been an hour and 15.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah, I guess there's no compelling reason why they couldn't already be working together. We don't, but I think this is part of the onion belt syndrome of this movie is... where 2009, we're kind of deep in the people are interested in the origins of things, storytelling. So we kind of have to have a prequel in the prequel that tells us how our killers met, even though only one of them will survive the movie. Well, two of them. I mean, I got questions about.
Well, it's weird.
Their
it's weird
distributor?
structurally.
Their distributor? Is that...
I got questions.
Why is he not a character of this movie? Since he lasts into the events of the first movie, so why is there not some focus on him? I guess because he would have got killed like the rest of them, if he was in the movie. But I guess
you're right. Structurally, for me, we have
reason,
that first couple.
There's no reason.
Then the killer. Then the couple we're actually going to follow with their good friend, not so good friend.
It's just there to, like you say, it's there to show us what is going on, so we can see the first time that,
But we're going to see that with the killer anyway, so
I
don't know why it's there.
Like in Solo, a Star Wars story, it's like the scene where...
how dare you?
Where Han and Chewie met. It's what people want. People love that movie. Yeah, and then, to get the guy with the shotgun too, introduce him. It's pure scene setting.
All right, now here's my
you know what
question.
It is? It's a test run. In a movie full of test runs. The movie itself is a test run.
Well, yeah, I think the biggest test run in the movie is this idea that two ordinary creeps... I'm not sure I see guys who want to see people fuck in their hotel rooms. Like, to me, in this movie, they're telling us it's the most natural step for them to go to selling murders.
Well, that's why
we're going to employ this serial killer we found.
Yeah.
And put him to work, and everybody's going to trust each other, and it'll be fine. There's no reason to expect... problems to come up.
It is
it's just all weird.
It's implausible. I think this is where the sort of the commentary and the satire comes. Because this is about, as people's tastes for pornography break more and more boundaries, how far are you willing to go?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what the movie's kind of grasping at. But like you say, it doesn't really work with the narrative structure of going from pornographers to making snuff movies with a serial killer.
Yeah, it seems a bit much.
It seems a bit much, but I think that's where that's.
And it's like, I love that just in this universe, because they even the distributor they call also is not like, are you fucking insane? I'm out. Everybody that lives around this hotel is like, yeah, sure, I'm on board.
I think there's a lot of discourse around this time about, tastelessness and amorality with the boom of reality TV.
Hmm.
Like, what are you willing to show and what are people willing to watch?
Sure.
And so I think the depiction of that these people will literally put anything on camera that they think will sell and have no moral compunction about it is supposed to be a reflection of that. Artlessly done as a concept, and other movies have done it far better, but I do think that's what they're getting at.
All right.
And I don't think it's a coincidence that this is the time when, pornography is becoming mainstream through the internet. Reality television is making people kind of question the limits of what you can put on camera.
Yeah, but it's been around for over 10 years at this point.
Yeah, but it's probably never been as popular as it was around this era.
Right then. Okay.
So I want to give the movie credit for introducing those ideas without necessarily crediting them for doing anything with them that leads to a coherent film experience.
I give no credit to a serial killer that plans the murder by putting a plastic sheet down on the bed, but then getting blood all over his clothes.
This operation overall, I mean, it's farcical. It's like how serial killers would be in a Pink Panther movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fuck me. I mean, we'll get there, but the fact that they're running this operation in a motel, and as soon as two sets of guests turn up at the same time, that whole operation is kind of blown to pieces. I'm just like,
Right.
Really? You didn't anticipate that two people might turn up at the same time? You're a motel. It's literally what you do. Multiple people.
No, not right now. Can't right now. Sorry.
Oh my god. And the other thing is, again, I like those kind of dirty horror movies. I like that feel, and I don't think this is deliberate, but just the non-Hollywood quality of the cast.
Yes.
Really helps the murder hotel concept feel more real to me.
Okay. All right.
And you can't, and you also look at it and go, well, I've never seen Vacancy, but I assume that not all of these characters make it into are a part of Vacancy. I was like, probably one of these guys is still around for Vacancy, so I'm like, so they could die at any time, and that feels more real than, if you were to introduce a group of characters where you know that most of them would survive.
Yeah.
Or that they were too famous to, be killed off.
Not that we're there at the end yet, but that was a big surprise for me. I just assumed everybody would die.
I knew at least one of them had to survive because the movie told me so. It told me this was...
Did?
Well, you thought that just an entirely different group of people took over this operation? I mean, that would make more sense.
Well, I at the time I hadn't looked up Vacancy yet, and I haven't seen it. But I thought I had seen it, and I have not.
But the prologue tells us that this is the first of the...
It just says this is the 200 tapes were found, and this was the first of those murders. This is that story, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much saying that it's the same killer. Because then your original killer is the copycat. Well, then they have to survive into the original Vacancy. Again, this is the problem.
No, I meant the victims.
Oh.
I thought all the victims would die.
Well, they did, didn't they?
No.
But
the woman survives.
Right, but nobody believes her. Again, hard to
True.
Believe.
Amazing cleanup job.
Oh no, I meant sarcastically hard to believe that the police would not believe a woman.
Oh, okay.
But you're right. Yeah, you're right as well. But she's not in Vacancy, right?
I don't know. I don't think so.
See, no, this is the problem. It's like the pre-sequel creates as many problems as it claims to solve.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that this isn't even the same hotel means that almost, even though it would kind of invalidate.
Oh, I thought it was the same hotel though.
But it burnt down at the
No, it doesn't. The guy just burns. The hotel doesn't.
It's a different hotel. The killer moves to a different hotel at the end of the movie. It's not the same motel.
I thought it was the same hotel.
I think it's a different motel.
I don't think so.
It would be a better story if...
But now I want to watch Vacancy just to see how Frank Whaley gets involved.
It would be a better story if these tapes were the inspiration for the killer in Vacancy. But I see why, again, like the found footage thing, I see why they didn't do that, because then you're essentially saying, and this is why you shouldn't do sequels as prequels, that we're the originals and they're the copycats.
Yeah, right.
So you're in kind of a limbo where you're like, well, we can't really do anything. You know, if anyone's going to get away, then some of these people have to die, but this guy has to survive, and has to still, and then the distributor guy has to stay out of the story so he doesn't get involved and get killed with the rest of them. And these are problems you've created for yourself. These are not problems that are organic to the storytelling. These are the problems you've created yourself, and that's the problem with the prequel sequel. I mean, it's there in the name, right?
Mm-hmm.
Prequels and sequels, two different words, two different meanings, two different entities. I'm saying that, but you know how much we love Tremors 4, The Legend Begins. I think if you're going to do a prequel, you got to go like fucking hundreds of years.
Got to go 100 years? Yeah. 100 years at least. That's good stuff.
Yeah. I don't think you can... Back to the Future, I don't think you can call Back to the Future 3 a prequel, because it's a time travel film. I think prequel...
Well, that's the thing.
Prequel
it's a prequel sequel.
It's implied in the mandate, isn't it, of a Back to the Future film.
Right. That's still a sequel.
They're all prequels. They're all
happens to take place in the past.
Yeah. They're all prequels.
Yeah.
I was really smitten with the on the nose dialogue in this movie. I think I had like a question. The couple, the newlyweds who are driving, like one of the first things that the woman says is, "You're gonna kill us," in reference to us driving, and I was like, I've heard of foreshadowing, but this is ridiculous. And then I was like, my question was, will all the dialogue be as on the nose? And then by the end of the scene, I think she says, "Till death do us part," and I'm like, okay, well that gives me the answer to that question is a big yes.
They don't die though.
No, well, yeah,
they escape.
Well, there you go.
Escape. I'll put that in quotes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, there you go. Then it's a better movie than you gave it credit for. Then we both gave it credit.
Had enough of you. I'm taking a first break. We'll be right back.
What?
Yes.
Oh, no.
You're going to have to pick up the pace, mister. We have 2 more 40-minute segments. So that's all you get.
Okay, fair enough.
We'll be right back right after this.
I like to think I know something about beer, but nowadays even I get overwhelmed when confronted by the exhaustive selection of craft beers they have at bars, breweries, and even grocery stores. Back in the day you had 1, maybe 2 craft beers to choose from, and if you were confused, you ordered a Guinness. But in beerstinations like San Diego, the craft beer options lately are in double, sometimes even triple digits. So what's a beer drinker to do? You need what I need, the Vegas Beer Guys. Your beer of choice should be a perfect blend of malt and hops. And so a live show about beer needs that same balance. And the Vegas Beer Guys matches beer expert Dan Aker with self-proclaimed beer novice Stephen J. Weiss. The results are eminently drinkable. They're on Facebook. They're on Instagram. They'll try new beers. They'll tell you about beer. Think of them as your beer Sherpas guiding you up a foamy-headed mountain to reach the peak of your pint. God, I need a beer.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Tom and I are here, picking up the pace, I hope, talking about Vacancy 2, the first cut.
Page 1 of my notes.
Like all these movies. Like all these movies. A 2009 single sequel.
Yes. Yeah, they decided not to make any more.
What's that tell you?
I mean, does that vindicate their decision to do it as a pre-sequel, or...
Vindicates my ranking.
Yeah, true.
But you could say that.
It did. You didn't stop the Amityville movies. The second movie is a prequel.
True.
And they certainly made more movies.
Hundreds of more movies.
So it's not always a death knell.
All right, what's your next note, Slowpoke?
Craig Ferguson Snake Mug.
What?
Starting to realize I might have too much detail in my notes. In the motel at the counter.
Yeah.
You know the mug that's a snake, a coiled snake.
Oh.
It's a mug that's like a coiled snake. And Craig Ferguson.
I understand what you're saying. I just don't remember and didn't feel the need to write down a specific note about it.
Well, it's Late Show with Craig Ferguson. He has one on his desk. And
that's for you, everyone. Craig Ferguson.
So I had praise for
a coiled snake.
No, like the watching of the newlyweds, making the audience participate in watching them have sex, but like once the and the discomfort of that, but then once the footage ended and it was just way too titillating the way that the sex was shown. Like there was all the criticism that was implied in making us watch them privately have sex on a TV screen. Once you get into the movie, it's like, oh, they don't care. They think this is fine in a movie anyway.
The movie then,
the movie thinks it's fine. Yeah. So all that discomfort is gone, which makes you more uncomfortable. But I don't think the movie knows that that's the effect it's going to have. Montage is never a good choice for body disposal. I find it kind of minimizes the horror and kind of turns it into mission prep.
What? So you skipped ahead there. So we killed the girl, and then because one of my things was he kills the girl, gets caught on film doing it, and they smack him around.
Now you're accusing me of skipping detail. Was Craig Ferguson? You want me to go back to Craig Ferguson's snake mug level of notes? Which way do you want it?
Well, you jumped quite a bit.
Did I?
Are you talking about the guy, the woman that he kills? That disposal?
Yeah. Well, no, I mean their first kill, basically.
Because one of my notes was that he says, "Listen, we got to shut down for a couple of days and get ready." And we got to get rid of this body.
Yeah.
And it's not until way later in the movie that we realize that get rid of the body means just throw it under the fucking rooms.
But
I thought, oh, they really did not take a lot of care to get rid of the bodies.
But also,
they didn't even bury them. They're going to smell.
But filmically, they go against the received wisdom of body disposal sequences. You think about the one in Psycho. Like, we watched that happen in real time, and it just doesn't work doing it as a montage because it kind of makes it seem like mission prep.
All right, fine.
Like we're kind of building to a boxing match. And now, are they in danger of in terms of characterization, making the two pornographers worse than the actual killer. Morally.
So,
like less like kind of they're kind of depicted less sympathetically, those two guys.
well, I don't know that the killer's portrayed any less.
But he's just a bit more to the point. Whereas these guys are like, they're creeps who will do anything.
Yeah.
Whereas he's almost kind of has a code, and I found this very difficult to get my head around.
I did like when they had him tied up and he's like, just my luck. Had to have a couple of creeps or something like that. You know, it's the only reason I'm sitting here is because you guys are terrible people.
But also, you know, again, prequel problems, but it feels very Reese's the way that it comes together. Sort of like you got the pornographers are the peanut butter and the killers is the chocolate, and because they kind of come together really can like they might not have met and started this operation.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no compelling reason other than coincidence that brings them
that's
together.
my problem. Was I mean, I wrote down notes like pretty trusting, pretty fast.
Yeah,
like, you know.
I guess if you're a motel pornographer and a motel serial killer, you're gonna cross paths eventually. It's only a matter of time.
Well, then our actual stars enter the story, and my note was 21 minutes into our 26-minute movie.
But
that's late.
But we praised this when they did it in the 2019 Friday the 13th. So what's the difference?
Just done better.
Yeah. Do you know what the difference is? Done as a reboot. It's a great idea for a reboot, terrible idea for a prequel.
Yeah, right.
You don't want a prequel within a prequel within a prequel.
Because, like, when you do the reboot thing, you get the pillowcase.
Yeah, you go through.
Like
Basically you rake over the timeline that exists,
mm-hmm.
whereas this is inventing a new section of the timeline.
And in that particular movie, here it just feels clumsy. In that movie, I think they're trying to tell you that first group is your group, and then they kill everyone, and you're like, what the fuck is happening? It's deliberate.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, there's no working of the audience here.
No.
It is literally like, what do we need to show, and what's the
you know,
what scenarios will allow us to show that?
Yeah. You know what is working, though? I put down, because we were just in the middle of doing our sequels, and I wrote down, best, worst, jump scare, Vacancy 2, Black Friend. Because we don't even see a glimpse of that guy in the back seat of their van or truck or whatever, and all of a sudden he's just leaping out.
Well, it's like it's a part of the reverse engineering of every single aspect of the story.
Mm-hmm.
Because having a third wheel gate crasher in the car is what is gonna create an obstacle for the pornography / murder operation in the whole, like,
right.
that's gonna throw throw a spanner in the works. Yeah,
sure.
In what possible world, when you're a couple, one of whom is pregnant, you're going to visit / live with her relatives across the country? Mm-hmm. Why are you taking this guy with you?
Yeah, right.
I mean, that it doesn't make sense in any that you could play out this dramatic scenario 1,000 times, and this guy would never be a part of it, right? But you know why it's in the movie, because him being a gatecrasher and them not knowing he's there and him trying to sneak in and get a free hotel room is what is gonna start to unravel their
You
operation.
would think, but then 3 minutes later they're like, hey, there's another guy there on the TV screen, and I'm like, well, fuck movie.
Yeah.
Like, you laid all this groundwork for no
fucking
reason. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. Like they, having gone to the trouble of reverse engineering this impossible dramatic situation, they then don't capitalize on it.
Yeah, not at all.
But this, oh wait, this guy is semi-famous, right?
Yes?
Hasn't he been in like a TV show, like a, I don't know.
Says here he's on the Rookie.
Okay.
29 episodes of The Rookie.
Does he have anything else?
Other than that, it's all just kind of one episodes.
Wasn't he part of the main cast in not Suddenly Susan, Veronica's Closet? Oh, was he a cast member of Veronica's Closet? If this is true, no. Okay.
39 episodes of Perception.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Well, that's still pretty. I mean, that's not bad.
So it was funny because I had some of my earlier problems with the movie because, I don't know, it felt like this movie was telling me that an African-American person can only be an annoying friend or an angry old man with a shotgun. But at the same time, I think this guy is playing it to the hilts. And I think he's actually really good in the movie. And then I look at his picture on IMDb and I'm like, oh, he looks so nice and charming.
Yeah.
It's just like the nicest person ever.
But also, aren't they they're also making sure he doesn't die first, which is the trope. I
guess. Yeah.
And I know what you're saying about it kind of dovetailing with the stereotype of the angry black man, but the African American guy isn't usually the farmer chasing people off their land in a movie.
No, yeah.
That's usually, a Cletus type person.
Mm-hmm.
Or Krusty on the patio.
Yeah.
Keep moving.
But I guess I had problems with the character of Tanner because he's so obtuse as a person. Like, they might not have died if he had chosen to not be such a fucking asshole at Otis's house. If he could have just shut his fucking mouth for even 10 seconds and stopped cursing, maybe they'd all be alive.
Mm-hmm.
But I suppose that's the point.
It's to the point to an extent, but it all feels very piecemeal.
It felt tropish to me, though.
Yeah, totally. It's all like that. Even their reason for stopping, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's this group of people would not be on the road together.
Yeah, right.
And they got to have a reason to stop as well. I mean, you're making more work from yourself than you need.
I mean, he's such a ridiculous character that they feel the need right in the beginning to explain him as they're walking into the hotel. His best friend in the world is saying, listen, most people just hate his guts, but I've known him forever. And
was this your big laugh when he popped up out of the back? Because I laughed out loud.
No.
Oh, okay. I laughed out loud.
My big laugh comes at the end of this movie.
I have a feeling that was an actor's choice. The rest of the direction of the movie doesn't suggest that level of wit of like him just popping up out of the back seat. My next note is cell phones. Like now in an era where this needs to be accounted for. And I remember this from the Friday the 13th reboot as well. It's like you got to have a part of a scene where people are like, "No, we don't have any coverage here." And
yeah, right.
It's kind of interesting because it's just a band-aid. Like, people, you hear it all the time. It's like, oh, how do you do like a thriller with people with cell phones? It's like, put them in a place with there's no cell phone coverage.
Done.
That's it. It's like, it's so funny that it's like, it's not actually a problem. Problem is you don't know how to make a horror movie. That's work on that aspect of your horror movie. And there's a weird thing in the dialogue where even they start to realize that the dialogue is bad, and we get a few lines.
Feel free to scream.
Well, no, not just that. Thank you for ruining my final quotable as well. But the so thank you for that. But they start to talk in like aphorisms and cliches. And then they point out that they did it, and I'm like, no, you can't. You can't do that. You can't have bad dialogue commenting it on bad dialogue. You got to write good dialogue.
Yeah.
You can't just have you saying, "God, that was what a cliched thing to say." No, that's not the same. Two wrongs don't make a right.
When he was like, that was weird that he said that. Why did he say that? She's like, well, don't worry about it. He's like, no, but it is odd. It's a weird phrase.
I know.
You know.
So it's like it's a lot of what I call writing backwards. Feels like a movie that's kind of written backwards. Like nothing develops organically. It's all it's been written so the movie can have an ending.
Yeah.
So all of it can be over.
Well, it's awkward. I mean, we already kind of talked about it, but like I had written down, I was like, oh, Tanner's going to be a secret from the killers. Literally on the next line I wrote, oh, Tanner's not a secret any longer.
Yeah. That's a good idea, and they blow it. Having created this character that would never exist in the way it exists.
Mm-hmm.
And
they have a cheat, too, to find all of this out, because there's that moment where Tanner, I think, tries to turn on the TV, and all of a sudden he's finding their footage.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think, well, what cord is connected to what for him to get
it's
that
a wiring,
into this
it's a wiring
television?
Nightmare. The power must be going out every 10. This is why they...
I don't... That's the biggest cheat I've ever seen in my life.
But isn't that what they spent a couple of days doing? They were like, listen, the wiring on this is going to be... This is why we have to close down. I would have loved that if they went into that level of detail.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's... And this is another jump scare fake out.
What, the ironing board?
Yes. I think I get the sense that they're thinking too strategically about this setup for it to ever be scary. Like, every jump scare is too well thought out as a jump scare to ever be scary. What's great about jump scares is if they have a
poorly done.
Yeah, like they have like if you think about the timing of the Jason jumping out of the lake in Friday the 13th, I mean,
yeah, sure.
If that had happened at any other time, it wouldn't have worked.
Oh, yeah.
Even though the overall idea is scary.
We're in the middle of soft focus. The movie's over.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why it works.
Speaking of Friday the 13th, we get a Friday the 13th Part 2 Pillowhead. And a shower scene. Obviously Psycho as well. Plus, I gotta say, like, that arriving at the motel neon sign vacancy shot. Obviously the movie's called Vacancy, and I assume that the original plays with this as well. It's like post-Psycho.
Sure.
Any motel film is basically doing shot for shot Psycho when cars are arriving at a motel. Yeah, and then my next note is, how did this group of idiots last until 2007, when a second couple arriving blows their plans completely?
It just ruins everything.
Oh, shit! Other people might come to this motel.
Oh, we just, we're having some problems. I could set you up with the place down about 15 minutes down the road. Are you sure? I mean, the sign's up and there's other people here. I don't know.
Also, this might be a Craig Ferguson snake mug note, but how far into the 21st century did they still advertise color TV at motels?
Yeah, good question.
Is this just their way of saying this is a really antiquated motel, or have they just not thought it through? Because even like in the 90s, when I was going to American motels on vacations, color TV was a given. It was more like whether it had HBO or not.
Yeah, exactly.
And now you don't even get TV in motels.
No?
You have to just sign into your fucking... If you're lucky,
No.
you get a direct TV hookup, which I immediately put on TCM. and then miss whatever appointment I'm supposed to be going to because I'm watching
TCM.
I'm watching the day War of the Worlds and the day the Earth caught fire double bill.
Wasn't there a point right before that new couple showed up where it was like they also couldn't keep their new 800-pound gorilla in check because he's like, I really want to kill everyone right now. And they're like, we got other people showing up, just calm down. He's like, no, I gotta do it now.
Yeah.
I got my killing urge going.
And also, I mean, again, every motel is different. Does it feel like that there's a little too much distance between... There's almost a farcical level of distance between each room? Like... Or is this the way it's set up? Is this what they spent the 2 days doing? Rebuilding the motel?
Rebuilding the whole thing?
There's like a space where a killer can chase you between buildings.
Yeah. Well, I want to say there's 3 or 4 buildings, and each one has 2 rooms.
Okay.
Like you walk up the steps and you can go left or right.
Okay. All right.
Does that feel right?
That feels right. I mean, that feels right for this movie. I don't know if that's how...
Right within its wrongness.
Yeah. And the finding of the when they there's an interesting moment when they find the cameras.
It is?
Well, it's just like they know they're being watched, and I think that's an interesting kind of twist on it.
Well, that's the thing too, is that they are working under an assumption, which would be the right assumption, that they're just creeps. That their lives aren't in danger.
Which is another sign of the undeveloped screenplay, because basically what the characters are voicing is the rationalizations of the writers. It's like, what would they think? Right? What would we think in this situation? And that's what they say. And then
I mean, there's even debate in the room of, well, maybe we should just stay and not fuck, or we should get out of here, they're creeps.
This whole scene feels like the script is a work in progress. Like they haven't found the way to use these characters to convey the thought processes that are going on in this scene. But also, I was thinking about like found footage, because there's one of the precedents for this kind of horror movies is the found footage horror boom that's going on at the moment, but also that kind of surveillance horror, which I most associate with like the 90s and where security cameras,
Sliver,
CCTV, and this movie's kind of bridged the gap between those two by having them watching everything from a kind of monitor room with the banks of screens, but at the same time you're getting like inserts of the footage that they're showing. So basically, and I think that subgenre has the same DNA, I think.
Yeah.
But one is for a more static era of cinema, and the other one is for when, obviously, post-digital cameras, where you can just fucking take this tiny camera and chase people, and you've got a movie.
Right.
No, that's true. That's what digital cinema did for a while. It was just like, now we can just go wherever we want.
Yeah, right.
And that's why I think found footage was so popular in that era.
Yeah, probably. In terms of this movie, because they're trying to make their decision in the room and they decide to leave. And then the moment where I thought, oh, this movie has some good opportunities, but they're not hitting all the marks. Sometimes they get it okay. I think that's coming later. Because here, I think everybody could hook into that moment because they're heading towards their car and all of a sudden, like, headlights come on.
Yeah.
And they feel like they're kind of surrounded. But it also didn't feel too scary to me. And I felt like the movie was failing in that moment.
Yeah, it's kind of riffing on better versions of this, like Jewel. Or, kind of horror trope, the key's not working in the car. I mean, that's exactly. It's a standard Friday the 13th trope, but when they do it, it's they crank up the suspense. just where it needs to be.
Yeah, right.
I think it's a mistake to have your characters watch an Orson Welles movie in a poorly made video sequel, because you really don't need that. In the light of it, you really don't need that comparison. The weight of that comparison. Yeah, right. I mean, I guarantee, because the rights of Orson Welles movies are so fucked up because he's a fucked up human being, and of course the rights to his movies are going to be all over the place. I'm sure they're doing it because it's public domain, and The Lady from Shanghai is not one of his better regarded movies, but I mean, there's one or two sequences in that movie that are some of the best filmmaking you'll ever see, so you really need to... They should have been watching some kind of, like, equivalent to this from the 40s, like a shitty B movie, like a monster movie or something.
Bugs Bunny and the Barber of Seville.
No, that's too good. That's still too good.
You're right.
Oh,
Right.
I know. Edmund O'Brien's DOA. Except the first and last scene. Everything in between is garbage.
Dennis Quaid's DOA.
I'm sure I bet that is actually better. I bet that remake is better than the original, even though the original has an incredible first scene, an incredible last scene. Everything in between is garbage. And you know what it takes for me to say that about a film noir from the 50s?
You'll say that about anything.
Not from that era.
All right, you're right.
Yeah.
I like also that that the bad guys use shotguns to kind of shoot them back into their room. Like, they're not shooting to kill them; they're shooting them to shuffle them back into the room where
That's where the money is. They got to get them
hysterical.
They got to kill them on camera. Going back to the original quotable, they got to get them on camera. Him killing them on camera. I even by the standards of victims in horror movies, them going back into the room and sealing up the hotel room is a dumb idea. I mean there's some dumb moves with regards barricading yourself in horror movies. This has never been. That's literally where they want you to be.
Right.
Right. Oh, if you're out, just safer if you're outside, because they can't film you. Then you're actually. I guess they don't know that at this point. And then they have it because this is around this time we find out that they're wired for sound as well as vision. So a microphone. They realize there are microphones in there as well.
I forget how they figure that out. They literally find one.
I think so, or something that they do shows them that they know that they can hear them as well as see them. Done much better in Manhunter, unsurprisingly. This kind of thing, where it's like, oh no, he knows the home videos.
Yeah,
he knows he's watched the same videos I have. But it's again, I think it's quite an interesting idea of that the killers know what the characters are thinking, what they've said, and what they're going to do.
Yeah, right.
So, and then they know as much as the audience do about what the characters are about to do. So again, it puts us on that level of the slasher, which is an uncomfortable place to be, and something interesting to do in a horror movie. As is the idea of like, and it's treading water. It's playing for time, clearly, but playing let's play with the victims before they're killed.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little bit in there of asking us to reflect on how we watch horror films, I think. This idea of kind of... I think there's a little bit in there, but I acknowledge that some of it is just treading water to something to do for 5 minutes to get to your...
Right.
Is it 1 minute 26? I think is this movie.
Yeah, not 1 minute 26.
1 minute,
I wish.
26 seconds. It really is a fan footage movie. 1 hour 26 minutes is of course what I meant.
Well, and I don't know, because that scene coming up, because they try to sneak out, and also for the longest time, just based on where they were on the IMDb page, because what's her name? Jessica, is listed first in the credits. The second person listed is Gordon, who is the actual hotel owner guy, who's like thinks he's in charge, but I thought he was our good guy who was Caleb.
Mm.
And I'm like not listening or paying attention to names, so I keep writing Gordon.
Oh,
my notes,
yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, it's not Gordon, it's Caleb. And I literally just wrote Caleb caught and Gordon killed. I'm like, no, that doesn't seem right. But they have that scene where they catch Caleb and they're kind of torturing them, and they're just like outside the window watching for 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Either one of them needs to go get them, or they need to go in and get him.
Yeah.
One or the other. They can't just sit there and watch for 5 minutes to lengthen the time of the movie.
Yeah, it's playing for time, I think. And there's, you know, the going back and forth between camcorder and camera gets very annoying, and it also fucks with their sense of the film's sense of diegetic and non-diegetic sound as well. Like, they haven't thought through that when you go from one to the other, there's an audio element as well as a visual element that's gonna need to be smoothed over, and the movie doesn't really have a solution for that.
No solutions for anything.
Well, here and there. Sometimes too many solutions. It's kind of it's sort of interesting. I think, you know, the representationally challenging that you got your final girl and an African American character are the survivors at this point.
Right, they're running into the forest.
Yeah. So you're kind of you're challenging some horror tropes while succumbing to others. Right. I think not kind of convincingly. Like, neither of them are represented as characters who should be as able to escape these situations as they are.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I like the idea that, you know, she's this kind of pregnant badass, but the character isn't written as if we saw one recently in the I Know What You Did Last Summer legacy sequel, where you have a kind of a sort of bougie sort of Valley Girl type character who is actually very resourceful and becomes kind of street savvy. And it makes sense, but here I'm just like, nah. I think she would struggle, quite frankly, the way the character is, and I think she would struggle with this, and I think he would too. Even though I want these groups of people to be represented in such a way, I don't think the characters.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying.
The characters are written that way until the movie decides that.
Well, that's the thing.
Oh, look, we have a black president, so now we can do stuff like this.
I think part of it is that the movie is focused on the wrong thing. Like you were saying, it has the right idea of, listen, we're going to have not Chekhov's gun, but Chekhov's black farmer. So we got to see him early because he's going to
Funny how that never took off in the same way Chekhov's gun did.
Yeah, right. But so they think they're all doing the right thing in setting stuff up, but what they're not setting up is character. We have no reason to think that this woman, Jessica, and this man that's left, Tanner, that they could get to the point where they are in the script. They've shown no resourcefulness.
Right. That's what
they're not particularly intelligent. They're not, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
There's
no,
nothing
absolutely.
in them.
No, right, yeah.
That tells us that they should be our final gal/guy.
There's also, I mean, there's a very bad filmmaking moment where there are moments where you wonder how you think you're gonna get away with not having a line. Like a line is ADR'd in the movie, and you think, how did you think you were gonna get away with not having that line?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you got into the edit and went, oh, we're gonna have to ADR that. It's like, why did you ever think you didn't need that line? They're outside in the hallway. He won't let them in. Then suddenly they're inside. And so they have to ADR the wife inviting them inside. I'm like, how did you, like, he's saying don't come in. The next thing we see is you're inside. How did you ever think you were going to do without the line where his wife invites you in?
Where the wife says, you come on in now,
Yeah.
Harold, or Otis, rather.
Yeah.
Shut up.
It's like,
Yeah.
why did you wait for ADR to do that? How did you think this was going to make sense to an audience that they were suddenly inside?
That's great.
This is why, Kubrick you get lots of takes, so you got options when you get into the editing room.
Mm-hmm. Now, having said that, this is where we get, I think, the closest to genre horror as I understand it, where, you have a bit of an inversion of what you think's going to happen. The cops don't show up, the bad guys do. Otis called the bad guys, and then we have a chase within the house, one that feels familiar to the horror genre, where I got to get into this door before they get to me, and I'll put this in front of the door, and let me look at this window, and I can get out. All of that stuff. I think that's when the movie's working at its best, actually.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
Let me just write that down. It is...
I said probably right.
March 2nd, 1:12 p.m.
Probably should be underlined.
I omitted probably.
I tell you what doesn't work when your movie is so green. Night vision.
Yeah.
If your movie's green anyway, night vision isn't going to make a blind bit of difference.
Yeah.
Do we want to take another break, or we just want to barrel through to the end? Because
I was going to take a break in 2 minutes. Should we just take a break now?
Yeah, I mean, I'm running out of notes.
Excellent.
So, in order to make
That's funny. You're so note heavy at the beginning.
It's
now
almost as if I
notes.
lost interest in the film as it went on. How could that be?
I'm going right.
Yeah.
I'm right where I should be. I have like a third of my notes left.
And
all right, let's
actually,
take another
the rest
break.
of my notes are just credit checks, so we're good.
We're done?
It's gonna be. No, I'm kidding. No, this doesn't.
We got to get to my big moment.
Only half of them. Oh God, you have big moments still to go. Okay.
Yeah. All right, we'll take a break and then we'll come right back. Listen to whatever stupid music this movie had.
Yeah. What happens musically in this movie?
I don't know.
Is this one of the movies where it's not clear whether it's music or happening in the movie? I think it is.
Yeah, that does.
There are
that
a good
checks.
3 of these movies that work on that level.
Yeah, definitely. I checked on this movie too because I checked the director's bio picture on IMDb, because one of these movies has the picture of a director just holding a cat for some reason.
Okay.
But it wasn't I thought it was this director. It's not him.
Interesting.
Look forward to that update with future movies. We'll be right back.
Did you know that the Everything Sequel podcast has a sequel? It's our Patreon, and for a low monthly donation, you can get up to 2 exclusive, full-length, ad-free bonus episodes. $5 a month gets you an episode discussing all the original movies from the series we've covered on the podcast. And that's a lot of snakeheads. But $10 a month scores you the reboot to boot. Support Everything Sequel on Patreon and reap the benefits of amazing brand new content you quite literally can't get anywhere else. Got more money than sense? We also offer one-time payments that will get you in the driver's seat of the podcast. Maybe even the passenger seat. That metaphor doesn't work, but our show does. So join the Patreon and believe the hype. It's a sequel.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Trying to finish up with Tom's very few notes for Vacancy 2, the first cut, directed by Eric Bros. Maybe it's Bros.
Is it 2 S's or 1?
Yeah.
2 S's? Bros. No, Bros. It's got to be Bros. Can't just change the English.
I agree.
Can't just change the English language.
But it seems like a Bros kind of movie.
Yeah. Yes. Well. Yeah. I suppose so.
I mean, it seems to me you're giving this movie too much credit for what it was trying to do.
Possibly, but then there are some moments coming up where I feel like they're kind of doubling down on some of the more interesting reflections on how we watch horror movies.
All right.
I mean, obviously, I'm not saying this movie is as good as Peeping Tom, but I'm saying it has a lot of the same points to make.
Wow. So
that's it. The two things can be independently true.
It's like saying the same thing that some movie from 50 years prior had already said. Good on it.
Well, no, it's what I think continually horror films, by their very nature of how of what they're about and how we watch them, are gonna enter into this discussion. And I didn't think this movie did too badly in addressing these questions.
All right.
As far as it goes, I mean, there are movies made around this period that are just pure torture porn and don't question themselves or offer anything to the audience that is a reflection on how you're watching the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So I do think it makes a difference.
Very good, then. Even though it abandons those attempts earlier.
I wouldn't say it's a continual thread through the movie. It's baked in conceptually to what they're doing, and again, I don't know if this is just something they inherited from the original Vacancy, or whether they're digging in on this idea specifically in the sequel. But I responded to it.
All right. Do you have any more notes for Otis's house? He and his wife get killed.
I think I've covered it already. I think.
All right.
Yeah.
Because they get recaptured.
Yes.
You don't expect that.
No, you think it's going to be like chase for the rest of the movie
till the end.
Yeah. And this, visually, the image of her gagged reflected in the camera lens. I mean, I think that is a very sort of Peeping Tom style image. The camera's voyeur. Yeah. Both.
I thought it was hysterical that the guy, Gordon, who said he thinks he's in charge of this whole scenario, and he says to his dumb partner, the non-serial killer dumb partner, where he says, "Make this whole thing look like a robbery." And he's just in there touching shit with his bare hands and throwing it overboard, like tipping shit over.
Yeah.
I was like, this is not a well thought out crime at all.
No, nothing they do is. I don't know what they were doing in those couple of days they shut down for, because they weren't planning anything.
It was poorly.
This is why I think it was 90% wiring. I think they had to remove some drywall and put some walls in the cavities. Put some wires in the cavities.
I thought it was funny because we didn't mention it before, but at some point the serial killer takes the screen out of a screen door and I think puts like duct tape around it.
Yeah.
And turns it into his mask.
Mm-hmm.
And then he takes that off at one point and starts chasing the other characters around this entire motel. But then when they recapture them and bring him back, he re-puts that mask on.
Yeah.
As though it's at all necessary. They plan on killing them, so whether or not they see your face is unimportant.
Yeah, I mean, mesh bag...
And they've already seen your face.
Mesh bag mask is supposed to be a step up from pillowcase mask, I think. But
they are incorrect.
As Friday the 13th showed us, you can only go from pillowcase to hockey mask. Do you know what I totally forgot the other day?
Your name.
It's so funny listening to a Sim. This is a tangent within a tangent. I was listening to a Simpsons commentary the other day, and they were talking about the highest and lowest of that you could play Homer at the top or bottom of his intelligence.
40 minutes left, just so you know.
I got no.
39 minutes.
I got no notes left. The highest or lowest you could play Homer at his intelligence, and their lowest was he can never forget his own name. That was the rule in the room.
That's great.
We could go anything above that.
All right, what was your second tangent?
You know what I completely forgot? The other two.
No.
In Heat, they're wearing hockey masks during the robbery.
Yeah.
How were they not sued by Frank Mancuso Jr. or whoever was in charge?
They're different hockey masks.
But, I mean, how you get away with that? Anyway. Yeah, well, the mesh bag mask is pointless, obviously, as you said, but also it doesn't really cover his face.
Right.
In the way that a pillowcase is superior, and I saw part 2 at the movie theater recently. I was like, I think I would have been fine with the pillowcase for a couple more movies.
Yeah.
Does the job.
We're not here to talk about that movie.
No. Well, the movie's making me. What I think is a problem when the escape attack, where they escape from their second captivity.
And she hides underneath the
it's
building and finds the bodies.
And this was a problem, I think, with a lot of camera work in movies at this time. All the energy of that escape is drained by continually readjusting the camera. Like, the instinct is that, this is going to make it seem more urgent and spontaneous. Actually, what it does is it kind of confuses what you're seeing.
Yeah, right.
And it kind of drains the energy of the sequence like a battery, almost. It's like you can feel the energy dying because the scene won't settle into something. Yeah, I mean, you've already mentioned the buried victims on the property, which is
amazing.
First of all,
I just thought, wow.
You're right that it's not disposal in any meaningful sense. It's purely...
You really made me seem like you were taking care of the body.
Yeah.
You have not taken care of that body.
It's purely for shock value, and, again, the slasher trope of corpse parade. We've got to have, a moment where all the corpses come out and do a little parade.
The corpse come out at night. Corpse come out at night.
At the very least, we need a Silence of the Lambs nose balm explanation for how no one's smelling this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because they're not preserved. They're not.
Nope. They're not buried.
I mean, you would smell that from the vacancy sign.
Mm-hmm.
When you're driving in, it's like, and the windows are closed, and we can still smell this corpse.
It's in my mouth.
Because how many days old is that corpse? Like,
they shut down at least a couple days.
I mean, again, this is a bigger problem in movies. Weekend at Bernie's too, but dead people smell, and movies just have to represent that, and they often do not.
That's all we need.
But yeah, this is a. This is not.
McCarthy has like Lysol and a fly swatter in Weekend at Bernie's too.
You remember we recently saw Mystery Train together, Jim Jarmusch's Mystery Train. You remember that scene where Clink Lee as a bellboy picks up a broken bottle
so funny,
and then just empties it into the street. That's what they've done with these corpses, essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is the point, because this is a prequel, and you may or may not have seen the original Vacancy. You're like, okay, who's allowed to die in this scene?
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like they've killed the guy who isn't allowed to die.
Right.
Which makes me wonder, is he burnt in Vacancy?
That's what I wondered.
Because if he's not burnt in Vacancy, that's a big problem.
That's a problem.
Yeah. Is it going to be a kind of Dr. Loomis situation where...
And also, he gets over it quick. But
yeah,
that was my laugh out loud moment.
Oh.
So Well, first of all, she killed. Also, before that, though, before he's lit on fire, she kills the dumb buddy because he crawls underneath the space.
Yeah.
And she uses a body to push his head into some nails, right? Do I have that
that's
right?
That's kind of quite creative. Again, I don't think she'd think of that, but it's creative.
Exactly. I remember thinking this seems like the moment you would write in a real horror movie where you're like, the resourceful person came through and did the resourceful thing that they had to do to survive the moment. I don't think they've set any of that up in this movie, but I recognize this as a moment in horror cinema.
It's like Amy Steele in...
That belongs.
Amy Steele in Friday the 13th Part 2 when she's like... She puts on the sweater and it's like, Jason, Mommy is angry. Like,
right,
yes!
Right.
All that child psychology major paid off.
Playing chess, all that shit.
Hey, literally a line early in the movie. It's like, hey, you should use some of that child psychology you've been studying. And she did.
Well, so then she kills Gordon too, right? She's sitting in the pond and gets him. Yeah.
Again, making that classic horror movie mistake of going into the water.
Yeah,
never ends well for people who try to do that.
And it's gross too. She really has to like hold her breath in some muck to kill that guy. But when the serial killer finally starts chasing her and she's hiding in the trailer, what she do? Is it just lighter fluid she lights him on fire with?
Yeah.
Something like that? So they have this shot where they have both of them in frame, and he's running away from the truck like, I'm on fire. And she's just watching as she runs away. She's watching him on fire. As though, like, look at that. Nice.
It sounds very Scooby. The way you're miming it looks very Scooby-Doo.
That's so great.
The way Shaggy runs in Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, it's exactly like that. It's just like, ooh, he's on fire.
Completely horizontally running. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. That's a
loved it.
That's a good moment. Don't have much left. The only caveat, I think, the way that the movie explains that she's as resourceful as she is. Remember in the car at the beginning, they talk about how her father taught her how to hunt, and that she grew up in the country.
No.
Okay, well that's the line that explains why she's able to do all this. I think that's what's
also, because you've said it twice now, and I didn't want to admit that maybe I wasn't paying enough attention to this movie, but so she's pregnant?
Yeah.
I don't think I knew that.
Really?
I don't think I knew that the whole time.
Yeah, again, that's I think when they stop at a gas station, right? Like in the or they. Yeah, that's that's the whole reason for them going to live/visit her relatives. Is to tell them that
I thought it was all about getting work.
Yeah, but I think he's changed his life plan based on the fact he's going to be a father. Oh, she's definitely pregnant. I didn't just dream that.
Well, I'm not going to watch it a second time.
I think you must now that you failed to
pick up
that subtlety. Well, there's a Friday the 13th movie, isn't it, where a character is pregnant and it has no bearing on the movie.
Which one?
3. She just says in the back, like when they're picking her up, she's like, "Look, I know I'm pregnant, but it has no bearing for the rest of the movie." And I thought they were going to do it in part 2 because the two people are about to have sex, and it's like, "Listen, I got something to tell you," but it's the opposite. She's on a period. Anyway.
Great.
Yep. Good times.
Well, and then the whole end of this movie takes an opposite turn that I just didn't expect. One, I didn't expect her to live.
Yeah.
I thought she'd kill some people, but eventually she'd get got.
And then start making movies, and she was the killer in Vacancy.
Because there was a vacancy after this.
There was a
and before
there was
this,
a vacancy in Vacancy.
Timeline.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I did not at all expect, like, for her to find the cops and the cops to come back and, like, check out the whole place. And there's just not a scrap of evidence
They've shown
to suggest anything that she's saying is true.
They've shown no aptitude for planning up to this point. Now there's only one of them, and they're able to clean up an entire motel by themselves.
And it's like, at the very least, she could say, and then we ran to this farm, and it was this guy Otis and his wife, and she was nice, and he was a dick, but they shot both of them. Like, they're still there. They didn't clean that up.
But they passed it off as a robbery. By
big coincidence. There was a robbery, and it dovetails with the story I'm telling you.
Yeah. Yeah, because how could she know?
By the way,
how could she know
nothing's missing? Nothing's missing.
Yeah.
How would she know? Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
But I just love the easiness with which the cop says, you know, I've known these guys a long time. I don't think they're both missing right now, but they're not liars.
They both made signed confessions, but I don't think they're responsible.
Yeah.
No, but you know what's behind it. They got to wrap it all up, so there's no evidence left over so that Vacancy can happen. That's why you don't do a prequel sequel.
Yeah, don't do it. I love that the serial killer is just like sitting there in the chair with his burned body.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like it's an hour later. He's like, well, there's the tapes, and I'll be killing some new people soon.
Yep.
And the guy's like, great, I'm ready, whenever.
Yeah.
New partnership, let's go.
Yeah.
And then I have, my last note is S7 into television snow credits.
Well, I this section of the movie, I wrote that it was like a surge to get the story in alignment with what we possibly know from the original, even though I'm perfectly willing to believe none of this matches what happens in the original.
Yeah.
But it doesn't, I think the movie has to, the prequel part of the movie has to explain one thing. It's like why they kept going on. And I don't really get a compelling reason why they would, it's like, you got away with this with the skin, literally the skin of your teeth.
A spectacular failure.
Yeah. And I say skin of your teeth, some of that came off.
Right.
You didn't even get away with the skin off your teeth. So the idea that they would be like,
you look like a Brontosaurus burger for Fred Flintstone.
The idea that this guy would come out of this debacle going, "Well, it was a successful pilot scheme, so I think we keep doing this, don't you?" Distributor we haven't seen since the beginning of the movie. Did you find out if he's in Vacancy? The distributor?
Oh, the distributor? No.
Because they go to great pains to keep him alive. Is that so he just so he has a distribution outlet for his movies?
Yeah, I don't know. Reese, not him. Wife. Truck driver? No.
Yeah, I think it's the truck driver. I think because that's how he transports the stuff on a truck.
All right, Shackelford.
No, that's Dale Gribble's fake name in King of the Hill. Rusty Shackelford.
That's his real name.
I don't think so.
I didn't make it up. All right. Nope. Scott Anderson, killer. He's there. Shackelford. I'm not seeing Shackelford. God damn it.
In Vacancy or Vacancy 2?
In the Vacancy.
Okay. So...
Not the Vacancy, in Vacancy.
Yes. Oh, well.
Yeah. Oh, that guy Nimrod on Tall directed Vacancy. We've been with him before.
What did we see of his?
I think one of those Piranha movies, no?
Oh, okay. Yes, I think
I
think you're right. Yeah, because I remember commenting at the time that we were going to have to go back to this guy. Yeah. Piranha 3D?
It says no here. That's what I thought, but it
Oh, yeah.
says no. Predators, though, I like that movie. Armored.
This is not the director
The
of this movie, though, right?
No.
Okay. This is not Bros.
He did a movie called The Whiskey Bandit. Retribution. That's a Liam Neeson action movie, most likely released in January or February. All right, you got a credit check?
Yes. Not much of one.
Good.
I just noticed that the
It's not much to credit.
not much to quite that the music in the credits conformed to the wailing woman pop music trend of the time, like tribal chanting kind of sounds. That was kind of it sort of in this period. It kind of made its way for like hold and elevator music to actual pop songs that were released that were like
The
that.
professional settings did not pop up.
No, it did not. But I thought, wouldn't it be better to have, like, if you're going to have wailing, just have distorted screams, like someone just screaming through the credits?
Sure.
And there's a weird musical moment. All my credit check is about music. There's a weird...
I'll power down. Stop listening.
There's a weird kind of interlude in the credits music where it turns into, like, hotel lobby music. Like, really kitschy sounding... Probably music that's like playing in the lobby in the movie, and then it ends almost immediately. What's going on? Why include that if you're gonna immediately stop?
Great.
And that's it. That's all I got.
No, well, that was quick.
Yeah, the credits are not kind of interesting because,
Like the movie.
and the movie's occasionally interesting.
Oof.
What was this, third on your
Briefly.
list? Fourth on your list?
Fourth.
Second for me. It's I mean it's yeah. I think you said it all. It's ineptly made.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a kind of kernel of some interesting ideas floating around it. I think that's as far as I'll go.
All right. Anything left for you?
No.
We can go.
I don't think I need to do any more of these movies either. I think we can just stop here. Because this was the movie. It's like it felt most like a summation of the other movies.
Right.
Because it occasionally stuck its head above the parapets.
You know what was the worst part for me about all of this was that I was utterly convinced. I told you I was, kind of putting everything to the side, deciding not to watch these movies, trying as long as I could to delay all of this.
Yeah.
And I delayed long enough that I convinced myself that I only had 4 movies to watch. And when I discovered I had to watch 5 movies, I was like, motherfucker.
And you'll watch.
It was very upsetting.
And you watch anything.
Yeah,
I suppose more, but only if it's in a movie theater. You're a bit more, probably more discerning in your domestic viewing.
Yeah.
So all they have to do is screen these movies in a theater, which has never happened and will never happen.
For good reason.
Yeah.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to have to tell us, have you seen Vacancy 2? What do you think of Vacancy 2? Is it the first movie that the first cut you would make out of these 5 sloppy movies? It shouldn't be. We're going to talk about that movie so much later than I thought.
Which movie?
S. Darko.
Uh-huh.
We got 3 movies, I think, to talk about before that. No, 1, 2. Sorry, this has been numbers roundup for the end of this episode.
That's right. Well, neither of us seem to know how numbers work, so I guess we need a primer.
2 more movies, then this movie, then
Okay.
Estarco. All right. Well, you got to tell us what you think about this nonsense. I guess we're differing a little bit. You're more enamored with this movie than I certainly was.
It honestly might just be that I watched it first, and so I was willing to give it more of the benefit of the doubt for interesting horror ideas, which, like you said, I've seen before and obviously done better in other movies. So maybe I think because I watched Estarco second, and
me too.
that might have sapped the life out of me and made it harder for me to give the movies I saw after that the benefit of the doubt.
I see. All right. Well, if you're going to tell us what you think, you got to do all the things and smash all the buttons. And you can smash the Facebook button or the Instagram button or the Threads button. Blueskis button. I like to say Blueskis button.
Did you?
X.
No, I was gonna say you missed out X. I think you can smash X as a institution if you want as well.
Yeah.
As long as nobody has access to it, that's fine. But
we'd be fine. One of these movies. It's got to be Trinian's. I was like looking because like so many of those young women. I mean, some of them we actually do know.
Yes.
Like Juno Temple.
Right. Oh, quite a few of them. Yeah.
And then some of them I was like, I feel like I know them, but I'm not sure that I do. And then I looked one up, and I'm pretty sure it's that movie. One of them had been married to Elon Musk twice.
I'm telling you, one of these days,
that took my breath away.
I fully prepared for that movie to be evidence in a trial one day.
It was alarming, to say the least.
Yeah, this is get ready to see it as Exhibit A in Nuremberg 2, The Revenge. As if anyone who's committing war crimes or just general crimes.
That's like they'll be brought to justice.
No.
Nah.
We got no time for Nurembergs.
Or send an email.
Original
sequel.
title of the last Bond movie, by the way. No time for Nurembergs.
At gmail.com. That's it. All right. For Tom Stewart of Lonesome Whistle Productions, Michael Shantz here. I'm from the How Dare You Awards. When you join us next, we should be talking about The Cell 2. The best of the worst of these movies. According to no one but me. This ain't over, Tom's saying, with his eyes in his whole face right now.
No dice.
All right, say goodbye to everybody, Tom.
He shot twice. He doesn't have any bullets. See,
that one was probably better anyway.
Yeah, probably. I think it's a line that demonstrates that this film is far too concerned about strategy.
Yeah.
And what people are thinking at a particular moment to be horrific at all. It's like you want to let.
You almost think that line should have been. He's got a 2-barrel shotgun. He shot twice. It's empty.
It's what the audience should be thinking, not what the characters should be saying.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect ender.
There we go.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
All right.